What's going on, YouTube? So before we get into today's video, I just wanted to start off by saying that rather recently on the channel we've gotten a lot of new subs and watchers to the content, and that's really nice to see. But I realized I haven't actually introduced myself to you guys in quite some time. So for all of you new people here, hello, my name is Leon, aka R2R Moto, and I try to post new content to this channel every Friday around 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you enjoyed this video today, hit that like button to show support for the video. And if you want to see more content of mine in the future, subscribe, come back to the channel on Friday and check it out. Hopefully we can grow this channel and continue to gain more watchers and viewers. So without further ado, let's get into today's video. Alright. Video, and you already know the color of the bike and what the bike is. Actually, think about it. If you saw the thumbnail of this video, you probably know what the color of the bike is, and if you saw the title, you definitely know what the bike is. So why am I turned around right now? Whatever, we're not gonna think about that right now. So the new bike to the channel, if you didn't know for some reason, is my 2020 Z125 Pro. So right out the bat, I have my phone right here as a cheat sheet for basically what I'm going to be talking about in this video. So if you see me looking down at that, that's what's happening there. But we have my 2020 Kawasaki Z125 Pro here in the Pearl Stardust white color. I actually really love this white color of the bike. Honestly, I like the KRT edition a little bit more, but this white is probably my second favorite color of the bike. So let's get into basically some specs about the bike. So right off the bat, you can look right here. You can see we have a 125cc single cylinder engine. The engine is air cooled instead of being liquid cooled like your higher end, top end like sport bikes and things like that. But I haven't had a problem with it overheating or anything like that for the time I've been riding it currently. With that engine being a single cylinder, it's also only 125 cc's, and it's a 4-speed manual transmission, so it's 1 down, 3 up instead of the traditional like 1 down, 5 up. So overall though, the power delivery that the bike gives out, you don't really even notice it with the 3 gears. I guess the top speed of the bike is like 60 something miles per hour, maybe 70. So far the top speed I've gotten it up to has been 59, and that was because I had to slow down for cars. Okay, so what else can we talk about? So the bike is also, instead of being carbureted like my DRZ is, the bike is fuel injected, which is nice. So I don't have to really come out to the bike and worry about cleaning the carbs or anything like that. The electronics takes care of that system all on its own. Another little neat touch to the bike is we do have upside down forks instead of the traditional forks. So it gives you a little bit of improved suspension and feel when it comes to like turning and things like that. So yeah, I'll give you guys, I already kind of did it a little bit, but I'll just do now a quick little walk around of the bike, of all the different sides of it, so you can see it. Like I said before, I really do actually enjoy the way this bike looks a lot. It looks like a mini little sport bike. Instead of like the Grom, for example, it kind of just looks like a bike of its own. The Z125, it looks like a mini sport bike, and I love that look, and it's so much fun to ride as well. So now we come on to some of the biggest points when it comes to the little baby Z125, and that's number one, this thing right here, the fuel tank. So it is a 2-gallon fuel tank, which is surprising, but it's really good. So far on my first trip, I'll actually turn the thing on. As you can see, I have 211 miles on it. I actually filled up my first tank at 105 miles, and I actually had 2 of these little bars left right here. So I don't know what the exact fuel mileage I would get out of the bike. I'm actually going to test that out eventually, but at least I know I can go 100 and something miles basically without even being close to needing to fill up, so that's nice. So like I said, 2-gallon fuel tank. We're going to talk about the seat height in a second, but with this bike, it is 225 pounds itself, and the carrying capacity is, or person capacity I should say, is 350 pounds. So let that sink in for a second with your weight. For me personally, I'm around 220 to 240 pounds. If you watched my last video, I mentioned that I don't really know what I am because of this whole coronavirus thing, and I haven't weighed myself in a bit. But yeah, this bike, it handles me just fine being somewhere around that 220 to 40 pound range. So if you're any lighter than that, the bike will feel a little bit or a lot better to you depending on your weight, and it will go a little bit faster depending on your weight as well. But if you are a bigger guy like myself, don't worry about getting something like this. It will perfectly be able to handle you. I've seen people upwards of like 300 pounds ride this bike, and they ride it comfortably as well. And the last thing I'm going to talk about on this bike before we hop on it and end up talking about the mods I plan on doing to it is we're going to talk about that seat height. So I still have the stock seat on this bike, and if you can see, when I stand on the bike, I'm actually off of the tank very slightly, and I'm flat footing the bike just perfectly. When I sit down, as you can see, we have knees bent, feet are on the ground, perfectly fine. Now I'm 6 foot tall, so if you're around the 6 feet range, you'll be able to flat foot this bike just fine. However, I have been around a bunch of different people when I was looking at purchasing this bike, and previous to that when I was thinking about just like how cool this little bike looks when I went to like motorcycle shows and like that. And I've been around my friends. I have one friend, she's 5'4", and she can actually flat foot this bike just fine as well. So if you're around that 5'4", maybe I'd say probably like 5'2" and up range, you're going to be able to flat foot this bike just fine. If you're shorter than 5'2", you'll probably still be able to ride this bike comfortably. It'll just feel like a normal bike to you, honestly. So you won't really have that much problems with the seat height of this bike. It's, like I said, it's a very tiny little package, but it is so much fun to ride. Before we hop back on the bike, I'll give you one quick last little walk around of the bike, just so you can see it one final time. Like I said, I love the way this bike looks and the styling of it. And now that I think about it, before we actually hop on the bike, I'm going to start it up for you so you can hear how the exhaust sounds. Got the cool little dash there. Honestly, for being a 125cc, the bike kind of sounds a little mean. It has that little grunt to it that makes it sound kind of really cool. I'm enjoying it. However, we're going to talk about this when I hop on the bike and talk about the mod plans, but I actually already ordered an exhaust for this bike. So let's hop on the bike real quick, and we'll go over what I actually have got for this bike already and what I plan to get for it in the future. Alright, so like I already alluded to, I already have an exhaust in for this bike actually sitting in my house, getting ready to install it onto this bike. And that exhaust is the Yoshimura RS2 exhaust for this bike, the looped exhaust, which looks really good on this bike. Actually, it's funny because I now have two Yoshimura pipes for my two different bikes, both being RS2 pipes, I believe. So yeah, that's quite a interesting little tidbit if you like interesting little tidbits. But other than that, the next mod after the exhaust that I really plan on putting on this bike, I eventually will end up putting on crash cages, because if you watch my last video, you'll know that I said that basically the reason why I bought this bike is because I really plan on wanting to learn how to wheelie with it. I originally planned on doing that with my DRZ. However, the biggest thing for me was if I looped it and I crashed it, I wouldn't have a bike to be able to ride. And that kind of was like, well, I can't have that because I love riding motorcycles and I really want to be able to ride at all times when I need it. So I bought this little bike to basically satisfy that need. Hello, dog. But yeah, so like I said, after the exhaust, the next thing I really plan on putting on this bike is a crash cage. Now, the biggest thing about crash cages is I don't know which one I'm going to put on it yet. There are many different companies for crash cages. I've been looking at, for a sub cage, I've been thinking about getting the Get Bent design stunt cage. Pretty much I'm probably going to do the 1 o'clock bar because I don't plan on doing scrapes anytime soon, and the biggest thing for me is that having this bike be street legal, especially around this area, I don't want to give the cops any reason to pull me over. So the reason why I'm going to go with the 1 o'clock bar is because the 1 o'clock bar has the ability to actually show your license plate and your not license plate but your tail light in full, which is something that I really think I'm going to need around, especially this area, because cops are real happy to pull you over in this area for any little thing. So being able to see my tail light in full is going to be something I'm going to look forward to. Then on top of that, I'm probably going to get a fender eliminator / integrated tail light for it, so that way it will be all in one and I don't have to worry about like turn signals or anything like that and trying to fit that with the sub cage. So that's the sub cage plan, and I'm pretty much set on that. However, the front crash protection is the problem area for me personally. So I know that I'm basically between two different companies, one being KevTech and two being Curtis cages. So I'm pretty much thinking I'm going to go with the KevTech front purely because with the Curtis Designs cage, I really like the way that one looks. However, with that cage you need to be able to do the airbox mod, which I don't really feel like I need to do right now. Are you doing workout videos? Like, what's happening over there? But like I said, I don't really feel the need currently to do the airbox mod. I really, besides the exhaust, don't think I will do any more real performance mods to this bike. I kind of like it the way it is, and that's pretty much the way it's going to stay. I just want to make it a little bit louder so people can actually hear me. So that's pretty much why I'm mostly considering the KevTech cage. If you guys have any sub cages for your bikes that you like and recommend, let me know down in the comments. If you have the Curtis cage or the KevTech cages, let me know how you like them down in the comments so I can make some decisions there. So other than those mods, the real only other mod I think that I'm probably going to end up doing is, if you watch Ian 187's video on this subject, if you have a Z125, you probably have, but I plan on changing these bars. Now I'm going to probably do the driven risers that let you be able to adapt a fat bar and then go with like the Pro Taper CR mini high or mid or whatever it is bar that's basically a fat bar, so it gives you a little bit more length side to side, and I can be able to mount controls eventually on here. That way if I ever decide to want to put like a handbrake on here, I'll be able to, and it'll give me a little bit of like protection on the ends as well with the ends of the bars, because I mean it's easier to replace bars I guess than it is to replace plastics, even though I don't know what the plastics for this bike cost. They probably don't cost that much, but regardless, the risers, handlebars, probably grips, and maybe a throttle tube, or I don't know about the throttle tube. I don't know if I really necessarily need it right now. I like the way this bike pulls, so that one will have to be a consideration. But other than that, I really feel like those are all the mods that I really plan on doing. Also getting rid of those front turn signals now that I think about it. But yeah, if you guys have done any mods to your Z125 that I did not mention that you think is essential for this bike, let me know down below in the comments. I really don't know the full plan of this bike besides the exhaust, like I said, that I have right now. Other than that, no mods have been ordered, so I don't really know what else I plan on doing to this bike in full. So if you guys have any comments, leave them down below. And anyway, I think that's going to end this video. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button for me to show that you support the channel and you like the video. Subscribe to see more videos in the future. Like I said earlier in the intro, I post videos every Friday around 7 p.m. Eastern time. So if you don't subscribe but you still liked what you saw today, come back next week. See what I post that week, and maybe I can earn your subscription then. And then otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. So one final thing before I end today's video. Rather recently on Instagram, another motovlogger hit me up basically asking if he could send me some stickers, and that motovlogger is RideRad. So you can see his stickers right here. It actually looks really good. It's a really quality sticker. I actually need to go watch his video again of where he talks about where he got these from, because I kind of want to get myself some stickers made. But yeah, check out RideRad. He's another motovlogger. He lives in Vegas. He has a DRZ 400 and an FZ10, which is a really nice bike. So yeah, if you want to see some more quality motorcycle content, go check him out. Like I said, he sent me some stickers. If you want a sticker, if you think this looks cool, hit him up on Instagram at RideRad, I believe, and he'll send you out some stickers. So yeah, quick little shout out. Now in the video. Peace.